Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn how to solve for Schrodinger wave equation to get a wave function and energy for a system in which there is one nucleus and one electron. So basically we are going to find out or prove the quantization of electronic energy. But before proving that, we must know how to formulate a Schrodinger wave equation for any system, any atom, molecule or ion. So we have already seen and you can again revise those method to find out or to formulate a Schrodinger wave equation for hydrogen atom. So the simplest system is hydrogen atom, which has one nucleus and one electron. So here one nucleus and one electron. Alright, so there will be only one interaction, that is force of attraction between the two. The charge on the nucleus is Ze, charge on the electron is E, and the distance is small r. Alright, so let's see. The basic form of Schrodinger's wave equation is H psi is equal to E psi. Capital H cap is Hamiltonian operator. E is energy eigenvalue. So Schrodinger wave equation for hydrogen atom can be written as this equation. Here Xe, Xy and Xz are the coordinates of electrons and Xn, Yn and Zn are the coordinates of nucleus. And this is potential energy term. So basically this entire term is kinetic energy term, which is given by T cap, and this term is potential energy term. So this T cap plus V cap is equal to into psi is equal to E psi. So this is Schrodinger's wave equation. Now it will be difficult if we consider all these coordinates. So we must reduce this equation in some simpler form. So we can convert these coordinates of nucleus and electrons in the coordinates of center of mass, so that we have to focus only on the position of center of mass. So when we do that, we can easily do that through mathematical calculations, but I am doing it directly because the entire solution is not of our concern. So when I transform this equation in the terms of center of mass, the x, y, z are the coordinates of center of mass. So we have this kind of equation, which is the simplest form of Schrodinger's wave equation for hydrogen atom. So here I am not neglecting the mass of the nucleus because we will be taking reduced mass here. Okay, otherwise we can apply the Bornheimer approximation to avoid this term, but in this case we will be continuing with this entire term. So we will use reduced mass in terms of Me and Mn. Alright, so this is kinetic energy term here, and this one is potential energy term. You know how to write it. And wave function of electron, energy and the wave function of electron. So this is an eigenvalue equation. Now again we have three different coordinates and various terms. To solve this equation, we have to further simplify it. Now for that thing, we will convert this into polar coordinates, or I must write it in terms of r, theta and phi. We have already seen this, how to convert this in case of rigid rotator, and that is again simple. The only difference between this equation and rigid rotator equation is this potential energy term, because there was no charge in case of rigid rotator on the atoms, but here on the two masses which were connected. But in this case, the two masses which are connected are electron and nucleus, and both are charged particles. So we have to consider this potential energy term. This one is a additional term. Now the second difference is, in case of rigid rotator, we said this r is constant and it was not variable there, but in this case this term will be here because r is not a constant anymore. So this entire term we have, and because r is also appearing here, so we will consider this term as a part of r term where r variable is appearing. So after this step, till this point, you must know this full form of Schrodinger wave equation in terms of polar coordinates. Now the next very important point is, it comes in exams also, separate the variables. So important part is separate the variables. After writing this equation, you must know the steps how you can separate the three variables which are r, theta and phi in different equations. So after separating them, we will solve three different equations and we'll get three solutions. After combining those r, theta, phi, we will get a complete solution for psi. So let's do that. Before combining this term with the r term, I must make this factor is equal to 1, because this is the factor which is having r square and it is being multiplied with sin theta term also and phi term also. So I will divide this entire equation with this factor. So reverse of this factor will be added with these two terms, others will become free of this factor. Alright. So in the next step, I am dividing this entire term with this factor. So here will be 1. It means we are left with, I am starting from here. Alright, plus I just, okay, 1 by sin theta plus 1 by sin square theta okay. So till here, and this here we had psi also. So this coefficient becomes 1, but inverse of this function is being added over here. So I can write it like this will become plus, I am writing it here. Alright. So after this term, this will be coming 8 pi square, this factor, mu r square h square minus, and this minus will become plus, into 8 pi, this is 4 pi epsilon naught r plus e, and psi is equal to 0. This we will have. So now I can combine this r term and this entire term, and this sin theta and phi term will be separated. So again we will substitute the value of psi, which is a function of r, theta and phi, is equal to some separate functions which separately are the functions of r, theta and phi. Alright, so when I substitute this value over here in this expression, substituted. So we have psi, in place of psi I will have r, theta, phi, and here also I have r, theta, phi is equal to 0. Alright, now when you multiply this entire factor inside here, r is the variable here, theta and phi will remain constant. So they will come out of this differential sign. So the first term will become, multiply that factor, r, keep r inside and theta, phi outside. So you will have theta and phi outside, inside it will be and capital R. Alright, when the entire factor multiplied by this second term, what will we have? Theta is a variable here, so we will keep theta inside, r and phi will come outside. So here we have r and phi upon sin theta, sin theta capital theta. All right. Again, when you multiply this factor with this term, phi is a variable here, so r theta will be coming out. R and theta are outside. Sine square theta capital phi square. No, not square, capital phi. Right. Now next is in this term. Again, let it be like this only, because there is no differential sign, so we need not multiply. So we have these three terms plus this entire term again over here. So I have 8 pi square mu r square ze square plus e and r theta phi is equal to 0. Alright, so please do the steps one by one and keep in mind how to separate them, otherwise it can cause confusion. So now after multiplying it inside, we need to remove these extra functions. So divide this entire term with r theta phi. Next is to divide this entire term with r theta and phi. Here also, okay, I will just, here also r theta phi will come. In this term also, here will be, we are dividing it, so it will be r theta phi sine square theta, and here also r theta and phi. We cancelled out. Here theta phi cancelled out, r is left, and this entire term is in terms of r only. In this case, r and phi are cancelled out, only theta left for theta equation. In this case, r and theta are cancelled out, only phi is left. Alright. Okay, so this is fine now. So now I will remove simply these extra terms. So we are left with only these terms. Just note it down. You have to do it, write it again. You must write it to understand the steps. I am just avoiding to write this lengthy equation again and again. So here these are cancelled out and we are left with these terms only, and this is gone. Right. So in this term we have r and here also r. So these two terms will be in terms of r only. Here we are left with theta. So this and phi equation, we will treat it separately. Alright. So these two terms, this first and this second, this represents our equation. And these two terms, this equation represent equation for simple harmonics, in which theta and phi are involved. So let's write these equations clearly. And next step is, what I am going to do is, I will take this entire term of theta and phi on the other side. So there will be one minus sign. So let's do it more clearly. Taken this theta and phi term on the other side, so it has become negative. So we have two terms, one is in terms of r and one in terms of theta and phi. Alright, so we can commonly put these two terms equal to some another factor, which is L plus 1. I will come to the values of L later. So we have these two equations. So if I separately compare these two equations with, equate this with L plus 1, I will have this term, take minus over here, and this term will be L plus 1. So two equations you have. Let's say this is equation number 2 and this is equation number 3. So now equation number 3, we will solve it later for theta and phi, because similar equation we have already solved for rigid rotator, in which we already know the expressions for capital theta and capital phi. So that will be almost similar solutions. Now the important part is we have to see the solution for our equation here, which is new for us in the case of hydrogen atom. So let's see what is that. Now again, you need not solve this entire equation. This is again a complicated one. So we are going to discuss only the solution. So let's see the solution of our equation. It's a bit again complicated one. The solution for this our equation will be something like this. Like this. This is rho, some another constant, raised to power small l, e raised to power minus rho by 2, capital L, L n plus L, and 2l plus 1. So here this L is this one, and this L is known as Laguerre's polynomial, Laguerre, Laguerre's polynomial. And this Lk is associate Laguerre's polynomial. The way we had Legendre's polynomial in case of rigid rotator, we have Laguerre's polynomial in case of hydrogen atom. So this is Laguerre's polynomial. So again, in the solution for R, we have this Laguerre's polynomial. When I compare this with this L, capital L K J sign, I can say this J is equal to 2L plus 1, J is 2L plus 1, and this K is equal to N plus L, N plus L. And the condition is J has to be less than or equal to K. So if I put the values of J and K, I can get this condition. L has to be less than or equal to N minus 1. So now here L is, here first of all small n is, this is principal quantum number, and L is azimuthal quantum number. All right. And the values of these two, the values of n varies from, can have n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on, and the values of L are the values of L are 0, 1, 2 so on till n minus 1. Till n minus 1 is the important point, because we have already said L has to be equal to or less than n minus 1. So the possible value for n and L you must know. And we already know, we have studied in our inorganic chemistry that for this principal quantum number represent the shells in which the atom is present. For example, 1, 2, 3, or L represent in which orbital. L is 0 for s orbital, L is 1 for p orbital, and so on. So these are the same quantum numbers which are which comes after the solution of Schrodinger's wave equation here. So this is the first part. Now the second thing is normalizing this R. So here the normalization constant is missing. So when you normalize it, you will get again this kind of big equation. This is total solution. This factor is multiplied here. There was no space, so I have written here. So write it very clearly. This is one entire expression for R. Now I can say R is a function of N and L, principal quantum number and azimuthal quantum number. So for any atom, if I know the value of Z, which is atomic number, and value of N and L also, so I can simply find out the value of this entire wave function. So let's see one example how to find out the value of this wave function R when you are provided the value of n and L. Okay, so let's find out the value of R when n is 1 and L is equal to 0. So we said L has to be less than or equal to n, so which is true for this equation. L is 0, n is 1. And to find out the complete value of R, we must know the value of this polynomial. So I have already written expression over here. I will simply put the value of L is equal to 0 and n is equal to 1. So I will have from this equation, this is L. If L is 0, here this is 1, n is 1 and L is 0, again 1, which is equal to D and D rho. So L, n plus L. N plus L is again 1. Okay. So to get the value of this L1, get it from this expression. E rho D and D rho, again rho raised to power 1, 1 plus 0, and E raised to power minus rho. So if I differentiate this, it will be E rho by parts. We will do, so this will be our after differentiation. So further simplify this, if I take this outside, this will become e raised to power 0, 1. So inside the bracket I will have 1 minus rho. So put this 1 minus rho over here. So you will have expression for L1 and 1 is equal to D rho 1 minus rho. So 0 and minus 1, minus 1. I will substitute this value of minus 1 over here. So value of R, n is 1, L is 0 will be equal to, Z is 1 for hydrogen atom, n is 1, A naught, so cube, and 1 minus 0 minus 1, 0 factorial is 1, and here 2n, 1 minus 0, 1 factorial is 1, so 1 by n is 1, 1 by 2. It's okay, 1 by 2 this becomes, this entire term becomes 1 by 2, and we have 1 by 2 over here. Rho raised to power L means rho 0, 1, and E raised to power minus rho by 2, and this factor has already become minus 1. So this is minus 1. So this will be your function R for the specific value of n and L. So now let's see the theta and phi equation. So we had this kind of theta and phi equation. So we will include this L plus 1 factor with theta equation, theta part, and the phi equation is here. So we have already done this solution in case of rigid rotator. We equated it with the, some factor m square, and the solution for the theta equation is this and phi is this after normalization. We have already done. Now the only difference between this theta equation and rigid rotator theta equation is, here the constant L is appearing here. In that case, rotational constant J was appearing in that equation. That is the difference. Otherwise, the entire equation is same. P is the associated Legendre's polynomial, and here is the simplest phi equation. Next important thing is the energy expression. So the energy expression for hydrogen or hydrogen-like species is given by this expression. Energy is negative and it is quantized because it depends upon the value of n square. Value of n varies from 1 to 3 and so on. So this way you can find out these are the constant values, and the value of A naught here is this. You can substitute this value over here. So this equation will be converted in terms of reduced mass of the system, and E is the charge on the electron. So this way you can calculate the energy of the system.